welcome to this vlog. I'm not going to do my usual introduction, guys, because the topic is slightly different. Jacob has kindly agreed to join me here. I appreciate it. You would have watched some of the scenes that have happened in La Palma before this. You know, and it's very easy when you watch that to just see Mother Nature and see the fact that, you know, it's just a volcano. But this volcano has affected many lives, and Jacob is one of those people whose lives it's drastically affected, and you've kindly agreed to join me, and I thank you very much for joining me for this conversation.
Welcome.
I suppose kind of the first question I wanted to ask you about is about the day. It was the 19th of September this year.
Yes.
As you said to me earlier, it was 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'd like you to maybe describe what happened at that moment, like how, like in relation to, you know, what happened around you, and since then, kind of a quick story of what's gone on for you, you know.
Well, we used to run a little tiny village-like thing with holiday homes, approximately less than 1.5 miles away from the volcano eruption. And in that specific day, the day started with a lot of earthquakes, and we could feel that it was kind of a birth process, like the gaps in between the eruptions became smaller and smaller, and the eruptions became stronger and stronger. So from a certain moment we felt really uncomfortable with the whole situation, even though the authorities told us like everything is cool. We have 4 different warning levels, and we were on level 2. Like number 4 is run and don't look back.
Okay.
So we were on number 2, which is like be careful, listen to the news, but stay calm. So we were pretty surprised by the whole thing. Let's say an hour before the whole thing started, my wife told me like she's getting really nervous because our neighbors started to pack things into their cars, and they just ran off.
Okay.
So what we did was to call the guests that we had in our village, 2 couples. We asked them to come back to the village and to get a little bit stuff packed, just in case something goes wrong, just in case we have to be evacuated and have to come back later. So the guests arrived a little bit after 3 p.m. and we advised them to take their bags and to wait for further information. At around 10 minutes past 3, I could feel a really huge earthquake underneath my feet, which made me rebalance my whole body to make sure that I wouldn't fall. And then it was like 1, 2, 3, boom. And there was a horrible sound that you wouldn't only realize with your ears, your whole body would get a sensation of that volcano in my backyard. And from that moment everything went like in slow motion. I could hear myself screaming, "Volcano, volcano, get out!" And so I ran into my house to grab my 2 dogs, 2 cats. Sandra, my wife, went to grab her father, which was in the village as well. So actually we just grabbed everything that was breathing and nothing else. And we kicked everything into the car, like 2 dogs, 2 cats, her father and myself. And finally we took off with 4 cars, and it was a little bit like after robbing a bank. So we were really quick leaving our village and driving via that dust road, because we actually didn't know what would happen. There are many different ways how a volcano could kill you, and you don't know how much time is left, you know. So we just ran and didn't look back, jumped into the car, took off, and then we stopped in the next town, which from my point of view was far enough away to make sure that nothing would fall on our head, or gases would kill us, or whatever might happen in that situation.
The other thing, the kind of when I came here first and we started talking, you know, you talked about the explosion of the volcano and the shake and the shock. The other thing that really kind of stood out for me with you guys is there's an aftershock as well. There's a genuine feeling of shock in your lives, like that I can feel, and sadness. And obviously what you built up there is your life, your home. And what people don't realize when they're watching the images is like, oh, okay, it's a volcano, but where the lava went is taking away the foundations of your homes, you know. And that has a huge ripple effect within your life, like. And one of the things I noticed from talking to both of you was that feeling, you know.
Yes, you know, the funny thing is, a day after the volcano erupted, I found myself in the queue with lots of other people asking for donations. Like everything you can see on me are donations. My whole life would fit into a plastic bag after that day. And there was a journalist from a Spanish newspaper who asked me a few questions, and I heard myself saying, like, hey, don't worry, we're alive. Everything we lost is just our existence and our home. I didn't know that it was actually much more than that. Like, the next day we went to another house a bit more in the north to be safe and to make sure that there is enough distance to the volcano. And I guess it was day 3 or day 4 after the eruption, in the middle of the night, when I felt like I'm rushing into some kind of heart attack. And my wife took me down to the hospital, to the emergency, and they told me, like, guy, there's a good news and the bad news. The good news is there's no heart attack. The bad news is you will desperately need a therapist, and you really need to take care of you now. They gave me some diazepam to calm me down for this night. And the next morning already we decided to escape to Tenerife to make sure there's even more distance to the volcano. And we were really lucky, because 2 days after we received great help from a therapist. It's a lady from Germany that has an apartment in the south of Tenerife, and she agreed to give us her helping hand. So what she said was quite impressive. She said, look guys, you're in deep trouble now. What you're facing now is something called PTSD. Many soldiers that come back from war, they know exactly what I'm talking about. She said, if we wouldn't treat that, and if you try to handle this alone, there is a very high chance to get stuck in alcohol or drug problems, or to commit suicide. That's what happens quite often. So she told us, like, okay, let's be really careful with that. In that moment I realized I lost a lot more than just my home and my existence. Actually, what I lost was my home, my existence, and the control over my body and mind. That's quite a lot, you know, and it would take weeks until you get a little bit more solid ground underneath your feet after facing that. And you know, I'm still right in the middle of the trouble, and I'm really, really grateful for all the help that this therapist gave us. You know, there were many, many situations where I really, really lost control. I just didn't feel at home in my own body and in my own mind anymore. So there was actually nothing left.
Yeah, because at the moment, obviously, it's extremely fresh, the shock, everything. It's going to take a lot of time for that to heal.
Yeah.
On another level then, you know, when I got here, you've got 2 beautiful dogs, by the way. You've got cats here. It took a lot. You're obviously, you've moved, you said to me you've moved 4 times, am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
And 4 times since that, which is a lot with animals. I've moved myself, just myself, and that's a lot of stress in itself.
Yeah.
That feeling of not, you know, having a home that's permanent, like, is quite a hard thing to go through. And is, I suppose, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video was to bring the attention, to raise money, because I know I've had people from Happy to Help who I've done work with before say to me, look, there's people on the island that are struggling, and you've even said to me, which I didn't even realise it was at that level today, there's people that don't even have enough to put food in their mouths. It's got to that level, and the help isn't, there's a lot of bureaucracy between the money getting to the people who need it. And when I was there to see the volcano, my video raised a small amount of money, which I passed on to someone who needed it. And I thought to myself, well, I've got this possibility here for the guys, and thank you to the followers who've donated in the past to other things, you know, and to hopefully generate the views on this video to get money to give to people who need it. And like, guys, if you are watching this video, I just want to say to you, can you please share it? Because every view, Google have to pay some money, and that money we can give directly to the people that need it. I promise you, every cent of this video, every cent that YouTube give me for this video will go directly to the people that need it. So if you can, just share it. And the reason why I talked about that was I wanted to ask you, like, how has it affected people that you know, your neighbors, financially?
Well, if you consider this story that you've heard to be a hard and sad story, that's true. But from my point of view, that's nothing compared to the hell that the guys in La Palma are going through. Let me describe it like that. We had a family in our neighborhood, from a small child to a 93 years old lady. 14 people living in 5 different houses spread over the valley. All of their houses are gone. All of their income is gone. So there's nothing left for them, and most of the people don't even have an insurance for their houses. You know, they're not like us Germans. We even have insurance for our dogs and cats. Most people on La Palma didn't even have that. Nothing. So
old school. They're very old school.
Yeah, they're left with nothing in the end. And as you just said, the bureaucracy is taking a lot of time, and people are really struggling getting their daily food. So uh, you could call me a luxury refugee. Like I have a home to stay, only for a while, and we have to move on. I have enough food, I have clothes. So for me, everything is on a good way. And you know, there's a lot of work to do to reclaim the power over my body and my soul. But I will manage to do so. I'm a bit concerned how the life of the people in La Palma would go on. There are two main sources for income on the island.
Yeah.
One is tourism, and the other one is banana.
Yeah.
That's it, nothing else. So many of these banana fields are already destroyed, and the rest of the bananas are highly affected by the ash that the volcano
Okay.
would rain on the rest of the island. What you have to know is we're not talking about ash. It's actually little pieces of sharp glass.
I experienced it on my arms when I was there, and I was like, what I didn't realize is I breathed some of it in, and it was and I was like,
Yeah.
this is a really surreal experience, and I started thinking, and I could see like this is going everywhere, like,
Yes.
you know.
So the problem is it would affect the skin of the banana, so they get brownish parts on their skin, and nobody wants to buy them anymore. So even the people that are not directly affected by the volcano would lose their income, and they can just dump the volcano into the ocean. Not the volcano. Yeah, at least the volcano as well, but
Dump it all in.
but they can dump the whole harvest into the ocean as well. So there's just one source of income left for them. You know, people are really starting from my point of view, a pretty useless kind of discussion, like about the moral aspect of people going to the island to watch the volcano.
Yeah.
Like guys, please stop that kind of discussion. The guys in La Palma really need every single euro that you could spend there, as long as you wouldn't stand in the way when the military, the firefighters or whoever needs to pass by. Everything is fine, everything is cool. You would find great souvenirs on the island, let's say the cigars and the rum that they produce in La Palma is exactly the same quality like from Cuba, and it's
okay.
way cheaper. There's really good wine from the island, so if people like to go and see, I would highly advise to do so, like to have a close look where they are to look at the volcano. Please respect the lines that the police would.
That was a big
draw.
thing I heard. There was people going there and disrespecting, like that's a big thing. That when I went there, I was very respectful. Like that's someone's driveway, that's someone's home. Don't block their drives. Don't get in people's way. You're stepping into someone's life. Be respectful. Go there, but be respectful, and spend money there. You know, if you feel the urge to do something good, donate money to people who need it on the island. Go spend money in there. The money's needed in the tourism, and that brings me on to the next thing. It just very quickly, guys. In the link below in the description, there's a PayPal link. It's for Happy to Help. Happy to Help will distribute. They have contact with families that need the money. They like before, when you've donated before, they vet the people to make sure that you know that the people truly need the money. They send the money to them directly to their bank accounts. So you can donate via the link on PayPal to Happy to Help. but you need to put in the concept 1021. That's 1021, so that they know that it's for La Palma. So remember, you can donate. If you decide to donate to my PayPal, make sure you put La Palma. In fact, I don't care. I'll donate it all anyways from my PayPal directly to the people that need it, like before. So if you feel strongly about this and you feel you want to do something about it, make a donation. And if you are thinking about going over to see it, go and check it out and spend some money there. People need money coming into the economy. And like you said, it's like, it is that false narrative that, you know, when I went there as well, it was like you shouldn't be going there. And I started to feel guilty about going there. But then I talked to locals that were there in the hotel in the area, and they'd said to me, you know, we need money coming into our economy, you know.
Yeah.
And
that's what all of these guys would tell you right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we have many friends from the island, and that's what almost all of them would tell me. Like, hey guys, please don't stay away from the island now. We really need the money now. So that's everything we have left. Nothing else. So yeah.
As you said, bananas and tourism, and at the moment bananas are greatly affected.
Yeah.
Tourism, you can still go there. When I was there in the capital, Santa Cruz, I didn't even know there was anything happening. When I went round to look at the volcano, obviously you could clearly see what was going on. But what stood out for me the most was the beauty of that island. It's just such a beautiful place. I'm disappointed I never went before, to be honest with you. And I'm definitely going back to spend more time there and really experience the full island. You know, and maybe it's a question you can't answer. Do you want to go back to La Palma? Is it something you'd like to live back there, or how do you feel about it now? Or it's still the early days, obviously.
Well, it's still our home.
Yeah.
So we have a very strong desire to go back to La Palma and not just leave these guys behind. We want to go back and to help to rebuild the island and to take part in that whole process. The question is if we're able to. Like, it depends on money, it depends on properties which have to be there. So we will see.
Yeah.
So our first priority is to go back to La Palma, and if that doesn't work, we need any kind of plan B, but we're not really thinking about plan B yet, because, you know, our heart is with La Palma.
Yeah.
It's still our home, even though the Volcano is a really, really nasty boy. So some of the locals just called him Don Bastardo.
Bastardo. That's a powerful name, and it makes sense.
Yeah, he doesn't have too many friends on the island. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me say that the most part of the island is really safe. So there's no reason to be scared that you might get harmed by the volcano. And actually, there are a few of safe spots to watch the volcano without causing any trouble to the local authorities. One is up in El Paso, and the other one is if you go up right next to Tazacorte, you can go up to El Time, which it's a very, very beautiful spot to view the whole thing, and you have a panorama view from, I guess, 300 meters above. So you can take pictures, selfies, have a beer up there, and you know, don't care about people that would blame you for that, because actually there's no reason.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing I was going to say to you is, like, where your house, because was your house one of the closest or very close to where it erupted?
Yeah.
And were all the houses in that area, like, they're obviously completely
Gone.
buried, like?
If you would ask me to show my house now, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Like, let's say the lava has cooled down and we are able to climb up and walk on the lava. I would need to use a GPS assistance to spot where our house was. So it's just one big black thing and right now there's no chance to even step on it.
Like this is something like how much time between like when the volcano went off, like obviously you described the explosion, the moving under your feet. I mean, I got chills even thinking about it. When it went off, how long before the lava came towards your house? Like was it quick or was it?
Well, uh, our whole little village was destroyed on day number 2.
Wow.
So we were amongst the first 100 people to lose their homes and existence. But you know what? I'm quite happy that it happened on day 2. You know,
Yeah.
we have many friends, local people that spent night after night up in El Timo, watching the valley, like hoping that their homes would survive. And after 3 or 4 weeks, everything was gone. So this volcano started slowly, let's say, and day by day it became more and more and more aggressive. So right now we have more than 2,500 or even 2,700 houses completely destroyed. You couldn't even spot where they are. And I guess more than 7,000 people are highly affected, what means they're struggling for their daily foods. And that family I told you about, they are on the eastern side of the island in Villa de Maso. 14 people in one house with no future. Even me, I really cannot imagine how they might feel. And you know,
And you're in. Right. Well, I like completely feel like I can't even imagine what that's like. Like that's 14 people in one home, and
yeah.
it's. I don't even know what to say to that, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, what would you say to? I mean, this is one of the reasons these people don't. You know, they're stuck in one home because, you know, they've no source of income. They've nothing coming in. It's like a. And then what's the solution like? You know, there's no solution staring at them in the face. So the solution at the moment, I assume, is the money from the government, and that's a long way off. From what I'm seeing, I assume.
It's a government. You know, they did a lot of talking so far, a lot of promises, but none of these guys has seen any money so far. So actually we don't know what the government will offer them in the future, but for sure as soon as the volcano shuts up, no one is interested anymore. And these people are just left behind with nothing and nobody cares. It's just a little tiny island in trouble. That's it.
So I guess the first thing I want to ask is, I assume you have contact with them on a regular basis.
Yes.
If you do, could I get their at least maybe you could talk to them and ask them, we can get account details so we can get some of the money sent to them as well. That would mean a lot, like because obviously you know the people who genuinely need it, because obviously in these times some people come forward and chance their arms to get money when they don't actually truly need it, and I want every penny of this to go to people that actually like that family that are struggling, that genuinely need it, you know.
Well, even I donated already.
Wow.
We had a GoFundMe campaign, and it went quite well. So people opened their hearts and their wallets, and they helped us a lot. And even I donated a little amount of money to these guys, you know. So, I mean, that's possible for most of the people.
Have you spoke to them in the last couple of days? How are they now, or what's?
It's pretty hard to get in contact with most of the people. We tried to call some of them or to send WhatsApp messages. They rarely respond, and that's not a good sign for me, because normally they're very open and they like a good conversation and they like to stay in touch. I guess they're, like me, deeply traumatized, and for them there is no future left. So for me it's quite hard to imagine how they might feel. And if you get in contact, they don't really like to talk a lot, you know. They're really, really tough guys, you know. They are not
Islanders,
yes,
strong.
really strong guys.
They're a bit like the west of Ireland and a bit like that. And
Yeah.
like the thing I noticed from the moment I got talking to both of you guys, you're very open. You're able to talk, which is a huge gift in anyone's life, to be able to open up, because a lot of people, like for years I shelled up on things and just closed and found it very hard to say, you know, I'm hurting, or I'm suffering, or I'm struggling, or I need help, and I can understand. I have mates that are hard edge and they don't want to open up, and
Really.
you know, it's hard to reach out when you know, and pride can sometimes get in the way. But all I can say, if there's anything I can do to help, I'm happy to help in any way that I can. If there's something I can do, I'm gonna have a chat with you afterwards anyways, because I have some ideas. Because hearing those stories, for me personally, I'm a very privileged person, like, you know, I'm a very privileged person.
Like me,
you know, we're privileged. We're gonna go to the fridge. We're gonna get food.
Yeah.
We're gonna eat tonight. I'm drinking water here. And obviously, there's people right now. I've always said this. There's people all over, but particularly right now in La Palma, that are in a depth of darkness, like that don't have any kind of hope. So if we as a group, the people I know, the people that watch my channel, you've donated many times to different things, homeless, animal sanctuary, to Mikey. This is another thing that if you can put a little bit, even if it's €1, you don't even have to donate. You can actually just share this video, share it wherever you can, share it, because every bit of money that the views generate from YouTube, they'll go directly to the people that need them, and certainly to this family of 14, because I'll get their details afterwards. So if you can spare a little, do that. And if you can't, and you're in a situation yourself where you don't have a bit of extra money, just share it on Facebook, share it wherever you can, and I'll make sure that every penny gets to the right people, like, and I'm gonna have a chat with you afterwards, see if there's something I can do through my shop, that we can do something there that can help in some way. Jacob, I really appreciate you taking the time out today to come and chat with me.
I was happy to help. Actually, my therapist advised me not to talk too much about the Volcano, but you know, in that case, I'm really happy to make an exception and to ignore her advice for an hour, because you know, it brings a deep feeling of desperation to me to see all these people struggle over there and not being able to help, because I'm affected myself. So yeah, I'm quite happy to give you any help that helps the people over there in La Palma.
And I'm really sorry for what's gone on in your life. I'm genuinely sorry that you have to go through this, you know. And I really hope that things start to change quick for you and things get a bit better, like genuinely, like, and if I can help in any way, you've got a contact here, you know. So
thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for your time.
Welcome.
And guys, if you can, share the video, make a donation. I know you're good souls watching this, so thanks for watching, and stay safe, guys, and look after yourselves.